Brandon and George, that the offense may have won today's practice? Is that true?
Those offensive guys, boy, I'll tell you what, we won today. So let's not get that misunderstood. Defense won today. They had a good couple plays, especially, Purdy's back out there ripping it. Looks great. Exactly what you would like to see out of the offense. It was a hard-fought battle, I'd say.
Private practice, you might imagine that it wouldn't be hard fought because there's nothing to prepare for this weekend.
Right.
But, I mean, did you, personally make sure that there was intensity so that those guys might say something like that after a practice?
I'm always trying to stir the pot. I'm always trying to get the juices going. Before the practice starts, you start planting seeds, in each guy. Hey, Brandon, we're going to see, George, I don't know. Brock, you've been away for a while. I don't know. Just planting seeds, man, and then that's how you create that competitive atmosphere out there. It's all fun and games.
Had some pretty notable coaches step down this weekend. And when Bill Walsh was here, he used to say, you can coach for a place for 10 years and everybody's heard everything and you should move on. You've been with Kyle for 6 years now. I'm curious, what's he done to keep things fresh? Is he much the same as the guy when you got here? Does he do things differently? How has he adjusted and adapted?
I mean, he's for sure the same guy, just better. Every year he's gotten better as a coach, just like he expects all of his players to get better. His big thing is you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And with Kyle, just being so true and authentic to himself and having had the experiences that we've had as a team and, losing in the big games, having slow starts to seasons, he always looks and reflects back on those prior years and, like, those scars that you earn. It's like, all right, how do we get better from that? Like, what did we learn from that in order to be better going forward? So every year, going into every season, there's always something new that we got to work on and get better at to attain what we're trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? And so that's something that he's done a great job of every year, just continuing to get better as a coach and a leader for us.
Some of the scars you talked about, how do they help you this time of year, sort of, get ready for another playoff run?
Yeah, man. I mean, you always remember those moments. I think it's important during those times, like last year in Philly, and you see the confetti coming down, you see them with their hats and T-shirts on the stage, they're happy, and you're standing there, you're watching it all happen, and I can put myself right back there in this moment. And the part that sucks is, like, you can't just blink and you're right back into having an opportunity to go back and do it again, you know what I'm saying? And so you start from ground one, OTAs, mini camp, training camp, you got to build the team back up again. And it feels like just yesterday we were doing that, but you blink and we're here. Like, it's the start of playoffs, and you're here right back where you want to be with an opportunity to go do something special with the right type of guys. And I think that's what the scars are for. You remember those moments, so it's like, how can I not give my all to this? How can I not make sure it's everything to me, my teammates, obviously the coaches, and that's what those scars are for.
The way you guys lost, unique way you guys lost last year, did that provide any sort of different type of off-season fuel?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of mixed emotions, right? Because it felt like we never even had a chance to get going. We never had a chance to really, feel like we could compete in that game. Don't get me wrong, in the moment we're feeling like, man, we could still do this. We could do anything. Especially the way that we finished last season, hadn't lost a game in forever, and it didn't matter if Brock went down or Josh went down. We were like, man, defensively we're thinking we just need how many touchdowns on defense do we need to score? That's the mindset in that moment. And then you look back afterwards, we never had a chance, And so it's just give us an opportunity where we're able to compete in that situation again, and then we'll see.
Obviously, there's still some faces missing at practice, but is it kind of energizing to get Eric Armstead, Jair Brown, Ambry Thomas, George Odom, et cetera, back today?
Yeah, so good. So good to see those guys out there in uniform. You talked about a guy like Eric and how big he is for us and what we do. Just to see him in uniform again today was great. Jair being back. So it's just good to get everybody back out there moving around so that when the time comes next week when we need them, that everybody's ready to go.
Fred, you guys have been banging hits since July. I thought maybe your best collective game was off the bye, the Jacksonville game. How do you feel with the rest, and how much do you think that rest is going to help you guys in the division round?
Yeah, it's really helpful. I feel great. I think the rest is much needed, and you talk about A lot of guys didn't play many snaps in this past game either, so it's almost like you're taking 2 weeks of just letting the body recover and then mentally getting your mind right for what we got ahead. And I do think it'll be advantageous. And you mentioned it after that bye week during the season, we came out flying, and we got to make sure we do the same thing this time.
Chase Young might have an expanded role here in the first 2 games. What have you seen from him since he got here in late October, early November?
Yeah, I think just came in and was exactly the type of guy that we want, and being a 49er, and he bought right into what we were doing. You talk about he already had ingrained in him like little things like running to the football, playing with that violence, like the stuff that we ask our guys to do, and on top of the talent and the ability that he has, and he's just continued to get better. And I think he's bought into his role too. Like he's not like a me guy. It's like, oh, this is my bag here, this, that. Like he wants to win. He wants to win a ring as bad as anybody here, and so I'm really excited for him in the postseason.
Garcia said that he plays his best football in the playoffs. Obviously, that's the goal of everybody on the team. But what do you see from him on these home stretches when you're in the postseason and he's right in front of you?
I think he plays his best ball year round, and I think you want to be a guy known for being consistent no matter what the situation is. But of course, you want your best ball to be played in this moment, and the way that you do that is you continue to do things that you've done right to get you to this point. You don't have to do something out of the ordinary to all of a sudden be playoff, such and such. It's like just do the things that have brought you success up to this point, and that's the things that are going to be. It's the little things, So a lot of teams, they lose games this time of year. It's not about winning; it's about not losing the game. So we just got to be on top of the details. Those little things, I think, is what's going to carry us to where we want to go.
George talked about how playoff intensity and how in the regular season you might see a guy like a pass rusher like he only turns it on third down or this guy doesn't try this but then in the playoffs everyone is into it. As he said, everyone's playing like Max Crosby.
I like that. Yeah, that's nice.
That was his line.
Yeah.
So I guess, does that resonate with you, and is it a much higher level than a regular week 8 game?
It's for sure a much higher level in terms of it's win or go home. This isn't a 7-game series. It's not the best team that wins the trophy at the end. In basketball, you usually got a few chances to get it right when you got the best players, but it doesn't matter if you got the best team. I feel like we've had the best team the last 3-4 years, and we still haven't gotten a ring. It wasn't about us having the best team. It's about how good can you play in those 3 hours that you're allotted out there. And that's the team that usually is happy at the end of the year. And so the guys that turn it on for the playoffs, I don't really that's not something that I can truly respect fully. I feel like if you're just not turning it on, where were you all the way through from all the the 18 weeks prior to that? So, we'll see. I think our guys are made of the right stuff. We've been going at it for the last 18, 19 weeks, and we're made of the right stuff. We just got to make sure we play our best ball for 3 hours.
Will you be watching the games impartially, or will you be having any rooting interest, maybe for Jamico, maybe Mike, but other than that, any impartiality?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to watch. Just as a football fan, excited to watch, and obviously seeing who we play. But I hope everybody loses. I hope everybody loses, and and then who knows? And then we won't have to play. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Thanks.